All right, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everybody to this regular called meeting of the Temple City Council. It's currently about 10 minutes after 5. Please rise for the invocation, which will be led by Liz Caraway, and the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge, which will be led by Jan Llewellyn.
Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you today on the cusp of our nation's 250th birthday celebration with a grateful heart, thankful for the opportunity each of us have, both as citizens and employees of this city, to serve our community, and for the many blessings that you, God, have bestowed upon our city and our nation. Father God, I ask for your guidance and wisdom for our mayor and every member of this council. May you be ever present in each decision made tonight. I also pray for our city staff, from each and every department, division, and position. Bless their work, protect them, and strengthen them as they carry out their responsibility. God, I also lift up the citizens of our city. May our community be filled with unity and respect for one another. Help us to work together for the common good and to be faithful stewards of the opportunities you have given us. Father, what a special moment and witness to history we will see on Saturday as our nation celebrates Independence Day and begins commemorating America's 250th birthday. We thank you for this precious gift of freedom and for the generations of brave men and women who had sacrificed to preserve it. May we never take these gifts for granted, including the freedoms we have to assemble and to speak freely. Continue to guide our nation with your wisdom. Strengthen our leaders and inspire each of us to uphold the ideals of liberty, justice, and service that has shaped our country for nearly 2.5 centuries. May God bless this great city, and may God bless our great nation. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ladies. Next item is public comments. Any citizens who desire to address the council on any matter may do so. We just ask that you signed up prior to this meeting. We ask you please limit those comments to 3 minutes. No discussion or final action will be taken. And at about, I always ask that you watch the monitors if you're speaking. You got your 3 minutes. When you get to about 2:45 or so, I ring the bell. I'm just asking you to finish your thought, wrap it up so we can move on to the next speaker. We have a few speakers tonight. We'll just start at the top of the list. One's Mr. David Rowe. You're up, sir. And then CJ, you're on deck.
I was here last meeting, and I just want to reiterate problems I've had with trying to get the city to take care of the alley situation that bothers me. My garage is in the middle of the block. My block's 3 blocks long. I'm 82 years old, and I don't think I should be having to trim 3 blocks of alley to keep from driving through brush to get there. Brain fart. The city attorneys gave me an opinion of what the rules are. It says it's from the curb to the center of the alley is my responsibility to maintain to the same level as the rest of the property is. And in the front, I don't have a tree. And in the back, I don't have a tree that's close to the alley. And I don't see, the city comes and trims that street and hauls it off. It's the responsibility of the property owner to do that, but the city decides that it's okay. They'll take care of it. If you want to do it, you can do it, but you don't have to. I don't see how this is a reasonable response. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe. It's good to see you. It's been a while. CJ, you're next, then Alan, you're on deck.
All right. First of all, happy 250th to the greatest country on the face of the earth. May it ever be that way. I want to preface this with saying I have no tickets that are outstanding. I haven't gotten any tickets that are outstanding. Last time I had any legal trouble with Temple was 2013 when the police officer tried to kill me. That's it. So I'm not saying this because I'm personally being affected, but we need to fire our municipal judge, because these courts, and the reason I became an attorney is to make sure that the rule of law is followed. We all know that if we do something wrong, guess what? We're getting hauled before either the municipal court or the county court or the district court. We're getting thrown in a cage. Money's being taken from us. They got to spend it on people like me. But what happens when government doesn't follow the law? All we can do is come up here and talk for 3 minutes. I'm not going to go into what I've already emailed each and every one of you about our municipal judge and why she needs to be fired. But what I want to do is read Article 1, Section 13 of our Constitution. This is the supreme law of Texas. Open courts. All courts shall be open, and every person for an injury done him in his land, goods, person, or reputation shall have remedy by due course of law. I challenge y'all at any time to go to the municipal court and try to watch a trial. You can't, because she locks the door. You can't get in there to watch an open court. So it's not open. And I went to watch a trial recently, and I had to go out to go to the restroom during a break. They, the parties, the two attorneys were talking to the judge, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. And then I tried to get back in, but the bailiff is way over by where the judge is, and I'm knocking. There's other Temple police officers in there just looking at me funny, not opening the door for me, but the door's locked. Anybody should be able to go in there. And what I had to do was interrupt a proceeding in court in order to get their attention so I could come in and watch what I have a legal right as a citizen to watch. So in addition to all the other laws that she's breaking and the rules that she's breaking that I've already briefed you on in email, and if anybody wants to know what that is, they can do an open records request, she's violating the constitutional right of each and every person to go and monitor an open court. Because if she's doing the kinds of things when there's an attorney present and an attorney representing somebody and an attorney that's monitoring that court, what is she doing to people who can't afford an attorney? I mean, she doesn't know the basic rules of evidence. She doesn't know the basic rules of when you can talk to a jury and not. And so, in addition to that, and the fact that she keeps her court locked, she really needs to be fired for incompetence. And I ask that you do that.
Thank you, CJ. Mr. Lytle? Sarah Royer, you're on deck.
Alan Lytle, live here in Temple, and for the first time that I can remember, I have seen a bunch of my friends from the Parks and Recreation here in one place. Normally they're not here. Normally they're out there in the hot, blistering sun, mowing our grass, taking care of our bushes, taking care of watering our parks. They do a fantastic job, and I'm just proud that you're going to recognize them. Thank you.
By the way, they'll be out there July 4th when all of us are enjoying whatever's going on at Crossroads. They will have spent hours putting all that together so we can go enjoy it.
They will.
That's why we honor them now. We butter them up now because we know we're putting them to work in a couple of days. Mr. Royer, and then Joe, you're next.
Hello, Sarah Royer, District 2. A couple things is we found out that the minimum state requirements to have the data centers open for fire safety has not been even tested or completed, so there shouldn't be an occupancy rating. I know I'm working with Judge Blackburn and Hillary Hickland right now on this. We also went to the resource, which is a huge thing, by the way. This is for our first responders. We went to the committee for the resource committee in Austin to talk about our water. and realized that best case scenario, we are so low on water, we're going to go out of water in the next 10 years, and it's not including data centers. And best case scenario, it's going to take $154 billion to fix. That's $5,300 for every man, woman, and child in Texas. And more likely, it's going to be $200 billion because we don't have the people to put it together or the counties ready to make the changes immediately. Which is a huge concern, especially when Meta's got unlimited water and Nestle is using up to 1 million gallons a day. We also have reports that the aquifer has been hit. So these are all massive, these are huge, massive concerns, and I would really appeal to you in our leadership to take this seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Joe Royer and then Carly Bird after that.
I'm Joe Royer. I live in District 2. I'm also here to talk about data centers one more time. I know you guys like to vacillate between not my job or I don't have the authority, so I just want to point out one more tool that you do have that maybe you weren't aware of. We've, as Sarah mentioned, we went and spoke to the Natural Resource Committee in Austin last week, and we networked with 44 other counties around Texas that are also fighting data centers, and so we've been sharing notes, and we're finding lots of new ways and tools and creative things that we can do to help with this, and so maybe you're not aware, so I thought I'd come and bring a new tool for your toolbox. Texas Government Code Chapter 391. This is how Uvalde beat their data centers. This allows two city councils neighboring, not necessarily in the same county, you could be in an adjacent county, but allows two city councils to work together and create new land use laws that are not subordinate to state rules, state law. They are equal to state law. So you can't say, oh, the state doesn't allow us to do that, because if you work together with another city council, Belton, for example, you can actually make your own rules. You can have more authority over how our land is used. You don't have to be at the mercy of a tax abatement agreement and the limited powers that that gives you. So I just wanted to point this out in case it's something that wasn't already on your radar. And like I said, we are now getting more organized and working at this a lot smarter. We're working with, like I said, 44 other counties across Texas. This is going to be quite an interesting election year. And I'll be back with more tips next time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bird?
Hello. Can you hear me okay? Hi, I'm Carly, and I wanted to speak on the Freedom of Information Act request that I sent on June 30th regarding the City of Temple 2014 charter and its amended documents. I got a reply back from the city with an attachment stating that the city requests a ruling from the Attorney General's office whether a portion of the responsive information and representative sample of which is attached, which means that information wasn't going to be presented to me and that they have to review it in order for you to give it to me. Is that how that works? Do you know the purpose of that?
Yes, that was in reference to some draft documents which are accepted from disclosure. Those documents, the draft forms of those charter amendments were sent to the Attorney General for a ruling.
Right.
The Attorney General has 45 business days to rule whether that exception applies to those documents in draft form. They'll get back to us about whether the applicability applies. The executed and final versions of those documents will be released to you.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Also, I wanted to ask how many data centers that you all know of that are being built as of right now?
That's a moving target, and I think that in Temple, I personally, and whenever I'm in planning meetings, we look at one project as, or I won't say anybody else, I look at one project as a data center. Now, so for instance, the current Meta facility that's operating now, it has 3 separate data halls on it. So is that 3 data centers, or is that one data center. To me, that's one. To some, that may be three. So what I know now is that there are 4 projects.
Okay. Do you know how many within each there are?
Pardon?
You just said there were 3 in one of them. Do you know how many there are in each of all of them?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, because that also, the number of data halls will be dependent on the amount of electricity that they're allotted. So
Okay.
that's always a moving target until they know their allotment.
Got it.
So it's more complicated than just, counting buildings or counting projects.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. That's all I
Yeah,
have.
thank you. Ms. Thomas, for my own clarification and edification, on her original question about charter amendments, is that charter amendments from 2014 that we're talking about?
I believe Ms. Bird's open records request, and I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, asked for some documents regarding the 2014 charter amendment. Part of what was pulled from that charter amendment was some draft versions, which is what we sent to the Attorney General.
Sure.
For an exception to disclosure, because that wasn't the final form that was reached, and is subject to an exception under the Public Information Act. Again, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, so I'm unsure whether the final version of the documents she requested, I can't remember if she requested prior versions in addition to the 2014 documents or not. But anything that is in final form will be released to her.
Which the final form ultimately is what the voters voted on and approved.
Yes, and the 2014 amendments are what is currently posted on our website as the city charter.
Okay. Okay.
Can I
Where'd that
request
come,
an
where did 12 years? where'd that come
answer on the data, on the request for public information?
This was just me addressing the
Can I ask?
city attorney.
Can I ask a question about that?
So we don't open a can of worms. I think that it'd be maybe more appropriate that you just ask that maybe privately after the meeting, just because then now I've opened up a forum on, a bunch of discussion that's not been posted.
We can't talk about anything that wasn't posted for the open meeting, and we're allowed to talk about this one because Ms. Bird addressed it in her public comments. So the
Just-
mayor was commenting on Ms. Bird's comment, asking me.
That was a separate issue that I didn't address in the first. What the question is,
Yes,
I
I can talk to you after the meeting,
Yeah,
and
that's-
I was told that
I'll
the
talk.
COVID,
Hey, David?
they had no.
Mr. Rowe, I can't talk to
information.
you about it right now because that's not part of the posted
They
meeting.
wouldn't tell me they had any information in the city of Temple for the
All right.
vote.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I will close the public comment section, and we'll move on to item 3, which is a public hearing. It's to consider adopting a resolution approving the Community Development Block Grant 2026-2027 Annual Action Plan and Budget, including the funding recommendations. Ms. Chopin.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I presented the annual action plan in its entirety at the June 18th meeting. I had the presentation available if you would like to see it again. If not, I'll ask you to start the second public hearing.
Okay, very good. Council, do we need Ms. Chopin to go over that again? Okay. Then I'll open the public hearing on this item. Anyone wishing to speak may do so. Ask you step to the podium, state your name, and state your comments or questions. Anybody? Even Alan? All right. Very good. Then I will close the public hearing. In council, I will entertain a motion on item 3.
To approve item 3?
We have a motion by Councilmember Grant. We have a second by Councilmember Pilkington. Council, please cast your vote. Item 3 passes 4 votes to 0. Moving on to the next item is special recognition, and we'd like to recognize July 2026 is Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Temple. Kevin, Chuck, Parks. Everyone get a good look at them now before they're sunburned on Saturday. Except the golfer, he's always sunburned. Yes, sir. And let me read the. Just flip it on whenever. Here they come. But I forgot to come up with a question this year. Y'all come up with something right quick. How fast can you plan a marathon? Okay, this proclamation is from the Office of the Mayor of the City of Temple. The proclamation reads, whereas Parks and Recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Temple, Texas. And whereas our Parks and Recreation are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of a community and region. And whereas Parks and Recreation programs build healthy, active communities that aid in the prevention of chronic disease, provide the therapeutic recreation services, and improve the mental and emotional health of citizens. And whereas Parks and Recreation programs increase a community's economic prosperity, increases tourism, and adds to the attraction and retention of businesses. And whereas parks and natural recreation areas improve water quality, protect groundwater, prevent flooding, improve the quality of life of the air that we breathe, provide vegetative buffers to development, and produce habitats for wildlife. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and to recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and the City of Temple recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources. Now therefore I, Timothy A. Davis, Mayor of the City of Temple, Texas, do hereby proclaim the month of July 2026 as Parks and Recreation Month in the City of Temple, Texas, and encourage all citizens to get out and enjoy our local parks and recreation areas. In testimony whereof, I witness my hand on the seal of the City of Temple, Texas, on this second day of July 2026. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mayor. It is a true privilege to be here tonight to celebrate Parks and Recreation Month. Other than serving the privilege of serving our citizens, the true privilege is working alongside of these amazing co-workers we have as part of our team. At this time, I'd like to recognize some of those people. At our Parks Division, I've got three of our foremen here, our three foremen here. We have Gary Kozel, if you'd raise your hand, please. Donald LaPointe, and Logan Broadwater. And these gentlemen, the three of them are in some form or fashion in charge of every single thing you see in regards to park maintenance, mowing, forestry, horticulture, chemical applications, you name it, they do it all, and we thank you so much. To my left, we have Jeff Ward and Andrew Johnson. Jeff is the general manager of the Salmons Golf Course, and Andrew is assistant general manager. If you didn't know, the past 3 years, we have broken the course record for rounds 3 years in a row. So congratulations to the hard work that y'all do out there. The course is immaculate. We appreciate all you do. It is also hot at the golf course, not just in our park. So, and with that, we also, one more person I'd like to recognize is David Milas. He's our park development manager. So all the playgrounds you see in coming in, the new trails and everything, David's over that project from our perspective. So he's been very busy, and he's also getting a little suntan out there as well. So, and with that, I want to turn over to my counterpart, Leah Anderson, who's over the Recreation Division, and she want to introduce some of her people.
Thank you. All right, so on Recreation, we have Susan Kraus, who is our Recreation Division Director. And then the recreation staff is we have Terry Holloway, who is a Salmons Program Coordinator, and Josh Laudig is the Summit Program Manager. Austin Chick is the Athletics Program Manager, and Travis Havermail is the Wilson Program Manager. So these folks on our team run all of the recreation side of things. So while we may not be outside and getting as hot and nasty as the rest of these guys, we're still working really hard to make sure there's lots of really fun things for us to do too.
Thank you, Leah. Unfortunately, our director, Kevin Beavers, could not be here tonight, and it is sad because he has worked so hard to create this amazing culture for us to work within, and it just builds such a great team, and I'm just proud to be part of it. The final thing I'd like to say is National Recreation and Parks Association each year comes with a slogan for the month. This year's slogan is the power of. And it's the power of community, the power of gathering, the power of open space, the power of play and recreation. One thing I'd like to say to add to that is the power of team, because with this team we have in front of you and the team we have behind us at this table, we're able to do so many things to create wonderful experiences for our citizens. So again, thank you very much, and we look forward to next year.
You bet. Look forward to Saturday.
Look forward to Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Happy 4th of July.
You want you to stand? You can stand. That's weird. Okay. So y'all know we have a tradition of playing Stump the Chump, Stump the Kevin. And I think Leah spoiled it last time, so Leah, you cannot answer this. But what is the, at Public Works, Bryn gave out days off for people. So can I give out days off? I'm wondering if I can give days off if somebody gets it right. Oldest park in Temple.
That would be Jackson Park.
Okay. I know, but that's why I said you couldn't answer, because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't fully prepared for this. And my other go-to is the oldest lake in Temple. Oh, oldie but goodie. Where's Ward? You should know this. It's on your property. Lake Polk at the golf course. Yeah, very good. Thank y'all for everything you do. We appreciate you. Thanks. Those guys really do have a tireless job. Every fun, cool thing that the community does, Parks and Rec is involved with it, and they're working overtime to get it done, and it's always when it's hot. So thank y'all. Okay, moving on to item 5 is to consider adopting a resolution setting the date, time, and place of the public hearing on the proposed fiscal year 2026-2027 budget for July 16th, 2026 at 5 p.m. in council chambers right here. So just to reiterate, July 16th, 2026, which is our next regular called council meeting, we will have an extended presentation of the budget. So council, I will entertain a motion on item 5.
I'll make a motion to approve item 5.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Walker. We have a second by Councilmember Grant. Council, please cast your vote. Item 5 passes 4 votes to 0. Next item is consent agenda. All items under the listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and may be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired by any council member, any item can be removed from the consent agenda at the request of that council member and be considered separately. Council, during workshop, we decided that we needed to pull item 6T, T as in Tom, from the consent agenda for separate voting consideration. So at this time, unless something has changed, council will entertain a motion on item 6A through 6W, less item 6T.
I'll move to approve items 6A through 6W, less item 6E.
Second it.
We have a motion by Councilmember Pilkington. We have a second by Mayor Pro Tem Walker. Council, please cast your vote. The consent agenda passes 4 votes to 0. Moving on to item 6T is the second and final reading to consider adopting an ordinance authorizing a rezoning request from two-family dwelling to office 1 on .37 plus or minus acres in the Bentley's Home Edition subdivision, Block 21, lots 9 and 10, City of Temple, Bell County, Texas, addressed as 1018 East Avenue A. Council, any questions on that? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve item T.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Walker. We have a second by Councilmember Pilkington. Council, please cast your vote. Item 6T on the consent passes 3 votes yes, 0 votes no, and 1 abstention. Moving on to the regular agenda is a first reading and a public hearing to consider adopting an ordinance authorizing a rezoning request from Ag to Neighborhood Services on .6 plus or minus acres in the Nancy Chance Survey, abstract number 5, City of Temple, Bell County, Texas, identified as Bell County Appraisal District Parcel ID 543550. Courtney.
Yes, sir. Hi, nice to meet everyone. Courtney Paris, Principal Planner. Thank you for the introduction, Mayor Davis. This evening, we've got case 2629ZC, rezoning from Ag to Neighborhood Services. Here you'll see this on our location map adjacent to Old Waco Road, zoning map showing that in its vicinity is primarily Ag with SF1 to the north. The rezoning area is primarily an undeveloped piece of property. You'll see here that looking south along Papaw Lane is the proposed development where there is existing single-family residential immediately adjacent. Some background on this property. It's approximately 0.6 plus or minus acres. Request from Ag zoning to Neighborhood Services. We currently have a subdivision plat under review for this. It's within that subdivision plat we determined the applicant as well as city staff would see that Neighborhood Services would be more in line with the future land use development or land use plan within the comprehensive plan. The subdivision is referred to as Wilma's Way Phase 2, with Wilma's Way Phase 1 being the adjacent property to the north. Our future development plan does identify this area as corridor mixed use, where we're looking to see higher density and intensity in development. Both commercial and residential mix should be within this area. Some appropriate zoning districts, specifically NS, are applicable and appropriate for this. Our thoroughfare and trails master plan identifies primarily Old Waco Road as one of our major arterial roadways. Majority of that construction has been completed, so if you're driving in that area, you'll see that there is a divided median, as well as some improvements to sidewalks and paths. Public utilities are available in the immediate vicinity. There is a 6-inch water line as well as an 8-inch sewer line. Staff published in the newspaper June 17th to notice this public hearing, as well as 6 notices went out to properties within 200 feet. We received 1 response in favor and 0 in opposition of this request. Staff recommends approval, and on June 15th, the Planning and Zoning Commission also recommended approval from this rezoning request from Ag to Neighborhood Services. That does conclude my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, ma'am. Council, anything for Ms. Perez? Is it Perez or Paris?
Paris.
Okay. That's not how it's spelled up here.
Uh-oh.
Council, anything for Ms. Perez? Paris? Nothing? Okay. Then this item is subject to a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this item may do so. We just ask you to step to the podium and state your name, please. All right. There being no responses to the public hearing, I'll close that public hearing, and council will entertain a motion on item 7.
I move to approve item 7.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilmember Grant, have a second by Councilmember Pilkington. Council, please cast your vote. Item 7 passes 4 votes to 0. Item 8 is the first reading and the public hearing to consider adopting an ordinance authorizing a rezoning request from Ag to Single Family Dwelling 1 on 1.5 plus or minus acres in the Nancy Chance Survey, abstract number 5, City of Temple, Bell County, Texas, identified as Bell County Appraisal District Parcel ID 543550.
Thank you, Mayor Davis.
Yes.
All right, moving right along, these 2 cases are immediately adjacent to each other, separate applications, so we're seeing this as a separate request for Ag to SF1. So this is the remainder of the property. Our previous rezoning was just immediately adjacent to Old Waco Road. So the proposal does pull an additional 60-foot right-of-way off of Old Waco Road and also adds another right-of-way to connect to Papaw Lane to the north. So again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
sir. Okay. All right, some background. We've got about 1.5 plus or minus acres. The proposed is to divide this lot into, this tract into 3 lots for the purpose of residential development. A subdivision plat is under review. Ultimately, we did determine that this would be a good transition from neighborhood services providing uses into single family, though single family can be approved in each. And that the identification of single family SF1 is consistent with the properties to the north that are also zoned alike. Again, Old Waco Road is that major arterial that provides connectivity and transportation, both pedestrian and vehicular. There are water and wastewater, as we've noted, at the beginning of the subdivision and along Old Waco Road. Due to sloping topography, the applicant and property owner have requested to have access to septic systems for the rear 3 properties, and so that is going to come before you in time as a plat exception. Public notice went out to all those within 200 feet. 1 response was received in favor and 0 responses were received in opposition. Staff does recommend approval of this rezoning from ag to single family 1. And on June 15th, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 6-0 to also recommend approval. That concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Council, anything for Ms. Paris? Okay. As stated earlier, this item is subject to a public hearing, and anyone wishing to speak may do so. Just step to the podium, please. There are no one speaking during the public hearing. I will close the public hearing, and council, I'll entertain a motion on item 8.
Move to approve item 8 as presented.
Second it.
I have a motion by Councilmember Pilkington. We have a second by Mayor Pro Tem Walker. Council, please cast your vote. Item 8 passes 4 votes to 0. Ms. Paris, this is your first presentation in front of us?
Yes, the previous 2 were.
Very good.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank
When did you come on board?
Beginning of February into
Okay.
January.
Very good. It's happy to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ms.
all.
Paris, P-E-R-E-S?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Kind of stumped me up here.
Sorry.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to item 9 is the first reading in a public hearing to consider adopting an ordinance authorizing a rezoning request from Plan Development Single Family Attached Dwelling 3 to Plan Development Single Family Attached Dwelling 3 with a PD on 11.77 plus or minus acres in the Mary Cherry Survey, abstract number 175, Bell County, Texas, addressed as 4202 Shallow Ford Road. Mr. Stewart.
And even though it does look unnecessary that we're going from PD SFA3 to PD SF3, it's more so that we're amending the PD to adjust some of the conditions that were on it previously. So this is north of Lions Park. This is phase 2 of the Preserve at Lions Park development. And it's about 11 acres, and it's being platted currently with the plat case 2644 that hasn't been finalized yet, but when it is, it will go before P&Z to have all the utilities and everything finalized. The applicant was requesting the change to the PD to allow for single-family detached homes to be added into the PD. In the original PD, it kind of just called out only townhomes to be allowed on the 52 or so lots. So locationally, it's just north of Lions Park, and then it's to the east of phase 1 of the Preserve at Lions. And then the zoning map, there's agriculture around, but it matches the other phases of the Preserve at Lions being SFA3. Here are site plans that they've given to us and will be attached to the PD. Just site plans of how they plan on developing where they have sidewalks located for this part of the phase. Currently, it's undeveloped land, so it's just open land. For our future development plan, it's designated as residential and neighborhood services, so allowing single-family detached homes actually bring us back more in line, so with our comprehensive plan and our future development plan. We did send out public notifications. We had 3 responses in agreement, 1 response in disagreement. And staff does recommend approval of the changing of the rezoning, subject to the following conditions: that there's substantial compliance with the site plans that I had previously shown, that in addition to the permitted uses under PDSFA 3, that single-family detached homes would be allowed as long as they meet the SF3 dimensional standards from our UDC, which is a 40 by 100 lot size. Townhomes should still be allowed, and then they're just gonna meet the other requirements that are already called out in the UDC, but we just made them conditions in the PD. The maximum lot coverage for the single-family dwelling should not exceed 50%. The total number of lots shall not exceed 52, but currently on the plat, what they have proposed is around 39, so they're meeting that. Duplexes and single-family attached dwellings with 2 units per building are gonna be prohibited. And then the Charlotteford Road improvement should be constructed at the entrance. And then a 6-foot sidewalk trail should be constructed on the north side of Charlotteford Road in lieu of the UDC required sidewalk. And then on June 15th, P&Z did recommend approval of this request with a vote of 6-0. Are there any questions?
Thank you, sir. Council, anything for Mr. Stewart? Okay. Item 9 is subject to a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak may do so. Please step to the podium. All right. I will, so no respondents, I will close the public hearing. And council, I'll entertain a motion on item number 9.
I'll make a motion to approve item 9 and to also thank Mr. Scott for working so well with staff. We appreciate that. It's been very easy to work with. Thank you.
Second.
And staff's been great to work with too. It's been a refreshing process to get through some of the challenges we've had the last few months, but we've got there.
We have a motion for approval by Mayor Pro Tem Walker. We have a second by Councilmember Grant. Council, please cast your vote. Item 9 passes 4 votes to 0. That is the end of our agenda. I want to thank everyone for attending tonight. Have a fun and safe 4th of July. It's currently 10 minutes until 6, and this meeting is adjourned.